Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. I'm Jenna, and this is my baby daddy, Francisco.
I'm Francisco, and I'm very happy to be back here.
Are you okay that I still call you my baby daddy? I say it like in a
Wait,
loving way.
That's the best
Do you know what I found myself
way
calling
to
you?
represent who I am.
What I found myself calling you lately?
Well, just a minute ago, called me to fuck off, but
That was a not clever way of working that in. I did say fuck off to you, which I know is really vulgar, but I was pissed because you roll in on your phone. You don't even meet our new intern or say hello to anyone. No, you're talking and then you go and then you walk into the room 10 minutes later like, are you ready? And I'm like, I've literally been waiting on you to finish your phone call. You're like, well, I've been here for 10 minutes. You have been on the fucking phone. And so that's why I was like, fuck off. I've been sitting there prepping for the podcast and you've been on the phone the whole time you've
I was
been
in
here.
my changing room. Just
So if I walked in and said, let's go, you would have just hung up the phone?
Of course.
Then why were you on the phone when we record at this time? Anyway, that being said, I was actually going to say something nice, but this is where we're at in our life. It's just negative every week. We're fighting, but we like to really let you in behind the scenes because this is very truly who we are right now. I know, really more basic than that. I've been referring to you as my partner, but then I'm like, I wonder if people think I'm in a lesbian relationship because that's what, when you're in, when you're partner, that's what you call your partner, I guess.
Or your
you would say
significant
wife.
other.
I mean, obviously you'd say wife or husband, even if it was same-sex relationship, but I wonder what people think. What do you think when I refer to Francisco as my partner? I know it's a very clinical way to call him, so I don't know, but for instance, I met someone new after a workout class I did yesterday. She told me, she was like, I follow you. I know you had a baby. I followed your whole journey. She was super nice. Her name is Emily. Hi, Emily. I don't know if she listens to the podcast, but anyway, she had a baby, a little girl, the day after we had Remy. So it was really funny. And we're like, we need to get together because I need new mom friends that are, in the same phase of life as we are. And, but I found myself referring to you originally as, my partner, because I don't know what else to call you. Baby daddy in this environment, y'all are cool. I can call him whatever I want, but around other people, or for instance, like what we did this morning, which we can talk about, I don't know how to refer to you other than I could say Remy's father. I could say baby daddy, could say fiance. I hate the word fiance. I've never liked the word fiance. I feel like, I don't know why. It just feels very snooty, turn your nose up, like my fiance. I don't like it. I've never called you my fiance. I don't like it at all. But for a lot of purposes, I'm not going to call you a husband when we're not married.
No. And what I do is I call you my co-living situation.
Co-living situation.
Yeah.
That's what you call me.
Yeah, it's like, hey, it's with Remy and my co-living situation.
My situation.
The situation that we're in right now.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what people. Yeah,
I
my
use
partner.
fiance all the time. Like there's times that it's like, hey, your wife is like, whatever.
Yeah. I do not argue with anyone when they refer to you as my husband, but I feel like after so many years, we're past the fiance. We're past the buzzy fiance part of it. And I still get a lot of questions from y'all. I don't know how many times I need to tell you I don't want a wedding. People keep asking me about the inspo behind the wedding preparations. I'm like, it's not happening. I'm not having one. I think people continue to think that I'm lying because I seem like the person that would plan some ostentatious wedding, which is kind of offensive, but fair. But no, I don't want a wedding. I hate event planning. We're sitting up front today talking about how I want to plan a pool party for some of our customers and this whole fun vibe at a hotel in Dallas. And is that even a good idea? And I start getting filled with this sense of dread.
We have that's something that we're so opposite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you love a good party.
Event planning
is your
my
special.
jam. The things that I'm good at it. I like the stress of it. I like to I have put many work events together. I have put from the 30-year anniversary of the business I was in to 500 people type of events together, and it's fun, especially when you have a budget.
Yeah.
Or good sponsors. It gets fun. I like it.
Do you show up on time to the events that you plan?
I normally show up way early.
Wow. So I just need to put you in charge of an event.
And then I leave. So this is the move. You get it all set up. and then you leave, you have to go change, and then you can be fashionably late. But the event, the event is running smoothly.
Okay,
Clockwork.
So can you arrange an event tonight at 6 p.m. with our son? And you'll be there at what, 5?
Shot. Whoever is following that drinking game, you take a shot right now.
Oh, whatever. You do the same to me. This morning was so interesting. So Francisco and I had a prospective parent meeting for a school that we want to send Remy to. And it's just so cool and so wild and a bit overwhelming at the same time to think about that you already have to think about schools, because people started pressuring us and we started getting really nervous about it because we were like, people were saying to me, moms will go, so what school is he going to go to? And I'm like, I don't know. He's still in my stomach. What are you talking about?
The thing is that, like in New York, we would have already been so late.
You have to get into a school before you've gotten pregnant, which is just such a fucked up mentality. It's just awful, because you don't even know.
It just adds a little bit to the pressure to try to get fucking pregnant.
Yeah. I hope they don't listen to our podcast when we're so edgy and swearing. It does add to the pressure. No, we absolutely, the meeting was interesting though, because this morning we're like, do we need to do the meeting? Because he can't even be enrolled in the program until he's at least 18 months old. And so we're like, we're pretty early to this, but it was really informative and really great. And Francisco and I are really big fans of the Montessori style of education. And so I was actually talking to my team up front because a lot of people don't know what that is. I mean, obviously, if you have kids or you've explored it, and the best way I can put it is it's more of like a life skills type of education that they're teaching them in addition to standardized curriculum. They're teaching them how to clean and cook, and
it's amazing.
It's actually amazing. So it's all kind of about raising more compassionate, problem-solving individuals, more self-sufficient, right? And so Fran and I are looking at each other throughout this meeting going, oh my gosh, we didn't grow up this way. Fran's like, I literally went to school and scraped my knees. I think that's what I did at school. And they have this little rock climbing gym and all this stuff that they teach them. They do equal time playing.
Bruises, calves,
you.
Yes, It was just a different type of world.
Yeah, well, no, it is. There's just so many different styles now, which is really interesting, but we absolutely love it. So we'll see. But it's crazy thinking that was our first parent teacher meeting.
It's just crazy. It was
he's not even ready for school yet.
It was a really good morning. It was an overall really good morning. Remy and I, we went to have a Starbucks.
I want to just paint a picture for y'all listening real quick. We live on a annoyingly busy street, and I know we've talked about our home search. We can talk about that in a little bit, but our street, that's the biggest drawback. We live in a townhome. There's a lot of construction. The street that we live on is very busy. So when Francisco gets home this morning, he shows me a photo. He brings me a coffee there's more coffee on the outside of the coffee than there is in the coffee. And I'm like, what happened? Did you get in a wreck? And he's like, no, we walked to Starbucks. I go, I'm sorry, you what? And he's like, we walked. I go, so you mean you walked across one of the busiest streets in Dallas by where we live? And he goes, there's crosswalks and stuff. And I was like, yeah, crosswalks with crackheads. What? You just decided to we're just going to walk. He walked. And y'all that kind of know where I live know what I'm talking about. But it's just a very, very busy street in uptown Dallas.
If there's an education, if there's one piece of education I want to give to my son, is that it's not all Highland Park and nice streets. He needs to see the good, he needs to see the bad, and he needs to get to enjoy it both.
You want him to see the real armpit of the city.
You never know where you're going to, the constant in life is change, and you need to have a kid that is well-rounded for that.
Yeah, he's fully equipped to prepare himself.
Fully equipped. Now. He was looking around. It's oh, look at that guy. He has no shirt. He's sleeping in the streets. It's well, that guy made a couple of wrong decisions, couple wrong turns in his life. It's not the jogging guy that you see in Highland Park that it's
fancy,
geared up and shit. No, this guy, he was wearing pants just by chance.
Oh, I'm glad he had pants on today. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's give or take.
Yeah.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to introduce a new Fitish podcast sponsor, Fabric Life Insurance, because we have to think about this. Well, especially if you're taking him to these parts of town. No, we really do need to think about family life insurance, which is crazy because I don't even know if I have had life insurance. I don't think I've had life insurance.
I have life insurance.
You do?
Yes.
We've never talked about it. How much is it?
Well, it's not a lot.
How much do I get?
It's like half a meal, but
No. Well, okay, so it's time probably for us to really start considering our family's future. And it's weird. It's weird all the things that you have to think about when you have a baby. It's actually quite time consuming and can be really overwhelming. And Fabric was built by parents for parents to help make it easier to manage your family's finances. So Fabric is all done online. Everything is on your schedule. You don't need to schedule anything yourself. Make time for phone calls or appointments. Just apply online when it's convenient for you. It actually takes less than 10 minutes to apply. See your quote, personalize your quote to fit your family's needs. You could be offered coverage instantly with no health exam required. Not going to be the case for Francisco. And we're going to talk about his health issues in a moment. I have to tell everyone what you did. But Fabric's lower prices mean significant savings over other providers. So this is just really a great opportunity. And I know a lot of you that listen have had children recently. You reach out to me about it. This is something we all really need to consider. And Fabric has a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can cancel at any time. Protect your family's financial future with Fabric. Apply today in just 10 minutes at meetfabric.com/Fitish. That's meetfabric.com/Fitish. MEET fabric.com/Fitish. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life, not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
I do like that name, Fabric.
Speaking of health questions, I need to tell y'all something I'm still reeling from that Francisco did night before last. It's taken me till now. I mean, I know that you don't feel the way that I'm going to express, but just I want you to put yourself in my shoes for a moment. Fran, you've been amazing because you've been sleeping with Remy every night, just because of our layout right now. And Remy's close to sleeping through the night-ish. We have a couple pops in the middle of the night, or he wants to wake up and eat at 5 a.m. But you've really taken that on. It's been the most helpful thing that you've done since I've had this baby. It's just really awesome. So I want to lay that out there. And I mean that. I mean, I'm not being funny, but it sucks, in a way, selfishly, because Fran and I aren't sleeping in the same bed at night. We have no alone time really, unless we want to carve it out. I guess our only opportunity would be to carve it out at, when he goes to sleep at 7, and that's about it. Right. But so, it's sad because I have this giant bed to myself. I actually sleep really great. Okay. But it is sad. And you busted into the bedroom I didn't know at the moment, but after looking at my phone later, it was 4:15 in the morning. And I look up and the hallway light was on, and he opens the door with such a dramatic fashion. And when I look, and of course it raises me up out of bed. I'm a light sleeper. He could have just said hey, I would have woken up, but it's boom, door open, slams against the bedroom. And I look to you and you are fully hunched over. So all I see is the silhouette, and I see him hunched over. And at first glance, of course, I'm waking up. And that instant second, I'm like, our child is dead. He looks like he's crying, like something awful has happened. It gave me what I can only imagine is the beginning stages of a heart attack. I mean, it was so concerning. And I was like, what? And he's like, babe. I was like, what? He's like, I'm sorry, you have to go down there. I can't walk. I'm like, what? He's like, I can't walk. And then he proceeds to enter into the bedroom, hopping on one leg. And I'm like, what happened to you? And you're like, it's my plantar fasciitis. You have to go down there. And I was like, oh my God. Obviously, because if he woke up, you wouldn't have been able to pick him up and walk around. But it's you had a broken leg.
No. And I've been dealing with it for at least 4 days, and it's been pretty severe. And he wakes up and I tippy-toe, and I was it's been very painful, but I've done it. But the day before yesterday, It was just
I get it. I've had plantar
Never
fasciitis.
before. Like I took.
If y'all don't know what it is, it's like it feels like you have a broken foot, right? Because when you get really bad, it can kind of be an early stress fracture, but it's because all the tendons from like your shin and hamstring and IT bands, they all meet and wrap around your heel. And so the pressure of that, when you have a lot of tightness in your calf and shin splints, my shin splints led to plantar fasciitis. It's like the more severe outcome of that, right? So I'm just kind of wanting to let people know what it is, because it's kind of a weird expression and it sounds like it might be like a wart, but it's not. But yeah, all of those tendons and muscles and everything connect and cross over underneath your heel. So when there's all that tightness and pressure over time, it feels truthfully like you have a broken, shattered heel bone, and it is excruciating.
So I've been up for like maybe 2-3 hours trying to figure out, like, I know that he's going to wake up in like around 4. Am I able to do it? And like, I will be able to do it. I kind of tried to fall asleep, and all of a sudden, like, even the touch of the sheets start being so excruciating. So I tried to call you, but I know that your phone is in silent, so I wasn't like.
My phone's always on silent.
It's like, okay, I need severe drugs and I need a backup, and I would never wake you up because that's.
I don't mind if you wake me up, but oh my gosh, like I thought there was a death, and I still am like rattled over it because I was so startled by you.
It was like, I truly enjoy staying down there with him. I truly enjoy waking up with him at 4, and because he wakes up in a very joyful mood. He maybe.
Oh, he wakes up like there's an event he has to attend. Yeah, he is fucking hyped. I'm like, no. I just don't talk to him. So of course Fran goes, and I haven't done the overnight since you were out of town. And Fran's like, you know what? We got him that new Merlin suit, the Merlin sleep suit, like the huge marshmallow. And we're like, this was like our second night of trying it. We're like, because we've heard this is the trick. And it's an in-between swaddle, right? So you have to be kind of ready for that. And it's really only good between 3 and 6 months. But we think that he's there. And so he's in that one. And Fran's like, I don't think he's going to wake up tonight. This is at 4:15. I get down there. I get in bed. I'm like, okay, I can do this. He looks very sound asleep. And I'm like, fuck. So obviously I didn't sleep the rest of the night. I got up, and that little kid is like, he's ready to go. He's gummy smiling, and it's pitch black, and I'm so tired. And you know if you have babies, you don't want to turn on the light at night because it's nighttime. The night nurse gave us advice, like, you're not supposed to talk to them or play with them or cuddle them because it is nighttime. So you want to keep them in this nighttime mood. But I mean, he is kicking his legs. He's like ready to go out on the town.
A clam.
I'm like, it's not morning, but I don't want to talk to him. So I'm trying to do everything in the dark. It's like pitch black. I can't find his other swaddle. I'm just like trying to straight jacket him down, and he's just like moving in my arms, and I'm looking at him, and he's giving me this gummy smile, like, and I'm like, oh my God, Remy, no, go back to sleep. So I only gave him like 3 ounces. I'm like, that's not going to be enough. But I managed to get him back to sleep by about 5:30. And of course, at that point, the anxiety you had given me, and then like party animal and how exhausted I was then, I was so freaked. Like I just laid in bed like, okay, I guess I'm up for the day. Like,
no, I literally went and took everything I had in my medical cabinet. Like
I finally go up there at 8:30 in the morning, and then again, I think Francisco's dead because he will not raise up out of bed because he drugged the shit out of himself to like get rid of the pain.
So I was like, you still have some of those really hardcore pain medications from the pain pills from.
Yeah, I saved like 2 Percocet,
and I was like looking for them, like a
drug addict,
like a drug addict, like a junkie. Like I was looking in like purses. I was looking like in the floor, in the corners, and I couldn't find those 2 pills. However, I took everything else. I took like
NyQuil. Like I saw my NyQuil out. Did you take NyQuil?
Everything, like NyQuil to try to knock me off or like anything. So of course I was monitoring like the baby. I saw when you put him to sleep, and it's like, okay, and one of the 15 pills I took,
this is healthy, like this is very healthy.
I went down.
I know I hid those Percocet a long time ago. I think, when I I hit them so good, I actually don't know where they are.
But why did you hit him?
I don't think I did, baby. I think that I used that pill bottle when I went to Los Angeles and put the unmarked Mexican Xanax that you gave me or whatever those
The
were.
one that I shared with you. My sharing.
Yeah, so I think they're in my my makeup bag that I took to LA.
Well, I looked in
not
that
hiding them.
makeup bag.
No, you didn't.
I looked everywhere. They weren't like anywhere. So anyhow, long story short, a couple of those pills and yoga helped a lot.
And a walk to Starbucks in the busiest intersection in Uptown Dallas.
That was the next day. Like
So,
you have
of
to
course,
jump
this morning,
back.
I'm like, so you're feeling fucking great and back to normal. I'm actually glad your foot's not hurting. I hate that pain.
No. It's still like there's still lingering pain, but I'm gonna try to do yoga again today.
I bet you wish I would have gotten the Percocet refill that was offered. I didn't do that for my own protection because you don't like pain pills and I definitely do. Like, I'd be that person that would be like super addicted to painkillers. And I know that. I know that about myself. I mean, I don't think I'd let it like destroy my life and turn into like a meth addiction, but I'm definitely at a level of like enjoying
We
them.
saw a guy that said exactly that. Like the one that's shirtless. He's like, I thought at some point that would never.
On your walk this morning?
On my walk this morning.
It was just one surgery.
He was like, I thought he wasn't about to destroy my life.
No, I just, when you go, I had that cesarean and you have to really advocate for yourself for pain medicine because they're very stingy with the IV pain meds and they say they don't want you to like become too reliant on them. I'm like, I just had surgery this morning. Like, give me more. Like, I'm not drug seeking behavior. I just got fully cut open and I'm in a lot of pain, and then even in the hospital, like you're constantly asking for more. And I highly advise you to do that. If you're even in the smallest amount of pain, like my doctor had recommended that. She's like, you got to get your pain management under control because too many times women are like, I'm going to tough it out or I'm going to go home. And then you get home and you're like not equipped with the medicine and that pain gets really bad.
I was really diligent to remind you.
I took pain medicine, a lot. And then for whatever reason, when I was just kind of sore, I just decided to stop taking it cold turkey, mainly because when you're breastfeeding, you're drugging your child. And then, and obviously those pain meds make me very itchy and very constipated. So I don't like it, but I love how you feel when you take those pain meds. And I just knew that if I got another refill of them, that I didn't need them, but I would take them. And I was breastfeeding at the time. And then I was like, well, I guess I could save them for later in case Fran ever like hurts his little foot at night.
Couldn't find them. Anyway.
But I didn't get a refill, and I didn't get a refill for my own protection.
Yeah, no, I don't love painkillers.
I know you don't, but but I do.
I
So
different vices. So everything is now back to normal. I went to sleep with him last night.
I saw you down there with your headphones, actually. So are you putting in your Raycons when you're are you watching TikToks or like what are you doing down there with him?
So when he's asleep, I love my Raycons because I can listen to my audiobooks.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Yes.
We have cameras, so like sometimes I can see Fran, but I don't know if he's like, watching TikToks or listening to an audiobook or
I'm listening to
something
audiobooks.
more sinister. I'm never quite sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, these Raycons are awesome. And we actually just got, well, I gave you the blue ones. I got the black ones, but these are Raycon's fitness earbuds, but of course they extend past just fitness. You can lay in bed and listen to your audiobooks about dadding and parenting.
They would not fall. Like that's the amazing thing. And I think that's why they call them fitness. Well, I'm pretty sure that's why they call them fitness. Because they really comfortably hook into your ear. And I took them to Mexico last time.
Yeah, I took them on my trip to California.
Last time I did that with my old ones that weren't Raycon, one full.
Yeah.
And
we all have different ear hole sizes. I have weird little ears. And so, but they have different little attachments, right? To really help it almost feel like it's custom fit for your ear. Maximum comfort, stability, and the most secure fit on the market, by the way. That's something they pride themselves
Yeah.
on. No, Francisco and I absolutely love our Raycons, and we're not the only ones. 37,000 five-star reviews, and more importantly, more affordable than all of these other wireless earbuds on the market. So now's the perfect time to pick up a pair, because right now you can get Raycon's fitness earbuds for $20 off, and they're already affordable, like I said. When you go to buyraycon.com/Fitish, and to make this deal even sweeter, our Fitish listeners are going to get an extra 15% off with the code Fitish. So again, you're getting $20 off and an additional 15% off, but you have to use the Fitish code, and it's a limited time offer. Get in before it's gone when you go to buyraycon, BUYRAYCON.com/Fitish. Again, that code is Fitish.
Really cool. I really love them.
Love it. Well, I'm glad you're healing. I'm glad you're getting your fitness back on. I'm glad your foot feels better. I'm glad you're night nannying for us again.
I'm trying to get my fitness. I gave up for a little bit. I decided just to embrace my dad bod.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah. No, you didn't. You look great. I'm just giving you shit. You look great. What do you don't have a dad bod.
But I was embracing it. It's like okay.
Fran and I always realize we have mom bod and dad bod like in the occasional time that we're having sex, because like sometimes I'm like, I look down and see that I still have like a stomach, or that happened to him, and we will laugh so hard that I don't know if this happens to other people that you weren't laughing. Yes, you were. Don't you remember the time that I made fun of you because you were getting into character for Pablo? But it was like mid-sex.
But babe, I'm a professional. Like you told
it's hard to recover from.
To get
it's hard to recover from when you make like body comments.
No, the best thing is Jenna's subtle ways to tell me that she wants me to do more chores, because she's like, you know something?
No, you
wait.
You ask.
Wait.
Tell the story right.
Hey baby, you know something that really turns me on?
This is true.
And I was like, I was about to start kissing her neck or stuff. What really turns me on is when you do the dishes. It's like, fuck off. It's like,
this is fair. However, he did ask me, he's like, what could I do to turn you on more? And I was like, oh, chores. It was so true. And this was like at midnight the other night. Baby, but it's fucking true. Like because you're like, oh, do you want to like have sexy time? And I'm like, with the cleaner in the bottle, like, not particularly.
That you need to be very specific on what you're doing there.
I'm like cleaning out bottles, like, not particularly. As I watch you on the couch watching TikToks, I'm like, fucking get up and help me do these dishes, and then I'm ready to go.
There's there's a very few times that I'm in the couch watching TikToks while you're doing a chore. But anyhow, so that's the way to her card.
It is. It's the way to my heart.
Or the way to
women get it. Women get it. I think, and I've never used to be that way as much. I think it's just I'm tired, and I'm tired, and I don't like the kitchen being messy when we're in there. So I just want to get it done, and I'd like some help.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Look at all these calluses.
What are those from?
From shoring. From
pleasuring yourself. From shoring.
From shoring.
Like somebody's got to do it.
And when I ask him, it's like, hey, what can I do to turn you on? Just be yourself, Francisco. Just be yourself. That is just fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But that wasn't the point.
I liked your rendition of what happened, though.
Yes.
And then how did that go? You sulked off down to the bed with Remy, and I just rolled over. He was like out of there.
It's like, okay. No, I'll just start I took the mop and start mopping the floors and vacuuming, turn the Roomba,
We've gotten a lot of feedback from people, changing gears just for a second, on the home building. So in a way, I have to say, for those that listened last week,
your fragile lands.
Yeah, y'all seem to really like that. It did sound like fraudulent, not fraudulent, but we've gotten a lot of messages from you about particularly building a home with someone. And basically everyone says the same thing. Like, I hope your relationship's really strong because it is a incredibly difficult process to get through. And I was like, I'm glad this didn't work out. You know, I feel like
Maybe
we're
we're
walking
not
on
there
like,
yet.
you know, we're on like fake flooring right now, and it might not hold us.
Clean ass fucking fake flooring.
No, it would be fun, but I think all things happen for a reason, right? You kind of have to just go through seasons of life being like, think this is a red flag or this is, you know, not meant to be. So I'm really glad we made that decision to not go through with that because of we wouldn't have really been able to, but you know, now we're just kind of changing gears and buckling down and being like, let's just keep saving money. And, you know, if something comes along, it will. I mean, unfortunately, we're going to have to make some sort of move before the end of the year, but, we're continuing to be.
If you have a back house or a pool house that you're not using, we might need it.
We're continuing to be open, right? And we're open with zip codes as well. And so we, a house hit the market, and you know, Fran and I particularly love mid-century modern, which that's frankly like hard to find. You know, you're either finding ones that are like, you know, super out of our budget nice because they've been built from scratch or redone, or we're finding older ones that are still high, you know, in price, but could be somewhat of a fun cosmetic project for Fran and I. And so we're kind of interested in that. So we saw 2 houses yesterday in a zip code that we have not visited yet, like somewhere we're not as familiar with, that we're not that keen on, to be quite honest. But I'm hopeful. You know, it's like adjacent to other areas that I like. So we decided to just...
Like Oklahoma.
No, it's not that far. But we decided to just go take a look because why not? Like keep an open mind based on what our budget is. And so we go look. And so I was running late. I had a lunch after a workout with a friend. And so I'm like 10 minutes late. Fran's out of his car already inside. And I see another car because I'm always like, is the other realtor going to be there? The listing agent? He's like, I don't know. You never know these days. Probably because so many people are coming through every day. So I walk in and this realtor's like, she's an older woman. She seemed nice. She walks up to meet me at the front door and I see Fran's behind her giving me like the cutthroat sign. And so like, I was like, I don't know my partner well enough. I don't even know exactly what he's referencing right now. He's going like
just say,
and I'm like,
make excuse, just let's go.
Or like, I didn't know. So now we need signals when we go look at places. Or you could have just texted me like abort and I just wouldn't have even come in, you know? That would have been a good idea. Instead, he's behind her, like over her shoulder, like giving me the cutthroat sign. So of course I ignore it and continue to tour myself through the house. But this woman, I do not like this. And I almost said something and I didn't because I think that it would serve her best interest to know this. She tailed me. This house was 4,700 square feet. So this was a large house that, by the way, like old people might have died in it. It had green carpet. Like it needed a full redo on the inside, but it was a huge square footage. She tailed me the entire way through the house. I mean, I was trying to go in other bedrooms that she wasn't going in. She's like over my shoulder. I mean, she would like pop up in the bathroom when I would go in there. And I'm like, what is she doing? I hate that.
Can you imagine taking a dump in this beautiful toilet?
She's like, but literally like, I'm like, oh, I went into like one of the guest rooms and it's just like all of a sudden the light switch comes on and she's like in there behind me and was like, they haven't redone this part of the house. And I'm like, clearly. And then I would like leave and go to the other room. Oh, she followed us the whole way through. And that's the first time, granted, I have not toured a lot of homes, but I've been like under
maybe they thought, maybe she said, she's like, she might steal something. She got that vibe. Like, she might steal something. I need to follow this one closely.
In that home to steal. Yeah, I looked rough. I did look like a hoodlum.
One of those figurines, like that figurine.
I wanted this hot workout, so I was like sweaty and looked real dumpy. So yeah, exactly. What am I gonna steal? One of those like little like that old people have collections
those
of.
Like quartz eggs that.
I just thought, I don't know a lot about real estate. Obviously, you know, I'm learning more here and there, but I know what I don't like. It's like being in a clothing store and someone's over your shoulder. Let us look. I thought you're supposed to just let them look. Let me know if you have any questions, you know, or would you like me to show you the house? Ask for permission to tailgate.
Absolutely.
I think at one point she gave me like a heel. What do you call those? You know, when people step on the back of your heels?
I don't know.
A flat tire. Thank you to our producer. A flat tire. She like, yeah. I mean, she was that
No,
close.
that's something that is so annoying, especially when it's not your client. Like you need to leave.
Sure. So, but you would have gone, you are my rep, obviously, but we're looking at it for us, but you would go with me.
Exactly. So right now, one of the listings I have, it's required by the building that I am there. The second I get there, I move around of the way, or I let them go, but like
into the unit. And do you stand outside the unit, or do you stand in the kitchen? Or
I ask them, if you need me, I'll be here. If you have any questions, I'll be here. I maybe go through the highlights, like just point this out, point this out, point this out.
And it kind of is a different story. I get. Fran's up in my space right now. What do you think about the closet? Yeah, she was popping up out of nowhere. It freaked me out. I'm glad we didn't like the house, but if we had liked the house, I very likely would have said politely, right? Like, what would the way to handle that be? I would have been like, would you mind if like my partner and I just like showed the house to ourselves, because we need to be able to freely talk shit about the place. We need to be able to envision our life and talk about, oh, we could do this here without some stranger, right? I mean, that's not a weird ask, is it? I did not like her approach. I do not think that she, is doing well.
I don't know if she's doing well or not.
Is that how they do it in that zip code? Is it like a zip code thing?
Babe, I don't know what. I think it's more like a up north tendency. I don't know, but it's
like when you're in a fitting room and you feel like hands behind your breast and you're like, what is this woman doing? She's like, I'm just helping you fit in.
Never.
That happened to me at all. It was a bra store, in all fairness, but they really help you.
I've never felt hands behind my breast. Am I not that cute? Is that no. The thing?
It's just,
Where do I go to feel hands behind my breast when I'm changing
If you
clothes?
do the dishes, I can make it happen.
I'm never fucking feeling hands behind my breast.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what? I've been getting excited about the thought of cooking more, and I bought Remy it's approaching, right? Like he's 4 months old. At 6 months, they can start eating solid food. And I'm kind of on this whole mindset of like, okay, this is when I really need to focus on my health, or at least we've been making some more effort to cook at home. And I know we keep making jokes about our mom and dad bods, but it really does come down to just kind of the nutrition, right? I mean, you can exercise, but if your diet's really not on the right track, there's a lot of reasons behind that. And Noom's been a sponsor of the Fitish podcast for a couple of years now. And I really enjoy Noom's approach to dieting, and which I hate that word, because this is really just more of a psychology-based method to getting your eating back on track. Because Noom believes, and so do I, that poor eating is usually a result of, just this kind of off mentality that you have about it, right?
You're trying to fill a hole.
That's very well put. I was actually going to say, people are usually one or the other, like if you're going through a hard time or something, right? Sometimes people are emotional eaters or stress eaters. Sure, people like Fran and I right now, we simply don't have the time, or we use that as an excuse that we're stressed and we don't have the time to prepare food. But then, of course, we're making poorer choices. So Noom is going to take this psychology-based approach and really assist you. And in no way is this going to be some sort of restrictive diet where you have to work out every day and deprive yourself, okay? They're going to just empower you with practical knowledge and skills you need to build smarter, more sustainable long-term habits and behaviors that check in with you. You can have coaching. It's really a great approach to getting your eating back on track. And more than 60% of users lose 5% or more body weight by 16 weeks of the program, and 60% of users engaged with the program keep the weight off for a year or more. And I think, when you hear a stat like that, you're probably like, well, I want it like 100%. Well, you got to recognize that most big diets, sure, people might, if they stick to it, lose some weight, right? But in a lot of those scenarios, that weight comes back right away when you start eating more regularly again. So Noom's really going to try and arm you with the skills to, actually make these lifestyle changes that are more sustainable in the long term. Yeah, Noom's absolutely great. So why don't you check it out? Start building better habits for healthier long-term results. Sign up for your trial at noom.com/Fitish. That's NOOM.com/Fitish. I did get so excited though, speaking of Remy's eating, because we were at Target and we took a family trip to Target the other night. It's so damn hot. I mean, we don't know what to do and we want to start doing more with Remy, but it's just too hot to take him on a walk anytime past 7 a.m. And so you've been amazing. You love taking him places, but you'll take him, like Fran went through the drive-through, like he'll just like drive through Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever. We were getting something the other night and he's just like, I'm just going to take him through a drive-through. Which is nice because it's just something for him to do.
So the things that when you're the night nurse, you start applying all these techniques in your expertise to try to get him a little overexcited. So whenever he goes to bed, he's tired as fuck.
Yeah.
And I have had, when you hit that jackpot that he sleeps 12 hours, that it only has happened once. I've been trying to replicate everything I did, like retrace my steps. And one of the steps was taking him to Whole Foods and Trader Joe's. So I'm trying to replicate
It's
that.
great. We've actually, this is this time of the show that we get into some questions. I was just pulling some up, and that's really great because a lot of you have asked, just as new parents, some of the stuff that we recommend. And yeah, you've been doing a great job, but those are great places for him to go. You said he likes Whole Foods or Trader Joe's more?
He likes Whole Foods, like hands
You're just
down.
putting that on him because you like Whole Foods.
Yeah, no, but for sure. But so Trader Joe's, he likes it, he
It's not
enjoys
as big
it.
of an experience.
But Whole Foods, like the meat guy says hi to him, the fish guy says hi to him, the sandwich girl says hi to him.
I see. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody like knows Daddy. So everybody's like that, like everybody's so excited to meet him. Like,
yeah, I forget. I mean, you go to Whole Foods every day. Yeah, if y'all ever want to see Fran, he goes to Whole Foods every single day, and he actually
Around 5
enjoys
p.m.
it, which is just crazy to me. I do not like going to the grocery store.
I go open a beer or one of those.
Oh, so you're the drinking dad with the stroller that strolls around the store?
Sometimes because
And you don't have a wedding ring, so what do you? It's like the prime. I mean, if I had to think about that, that's like the prime picking up older ladies.
well, when you were gone, this lady approached and she's like, "Oh my God, he's so cute. Where is mom?" I was like, "Well, she abandoned us."
Dick.
I wasn't lying. I never said that you abandoned us to come back in
She's
3
on a work
days.
trip. Fair, fine. I'm gonna do that. That's what's so messed up, isn't it? Like him out as a single dad would have so many women attracted to him. Me as like a single mom, like I'm not about to be like picking up a lot of dudes. Like most dudes are gonna be like, oh, that girl, oh, she'd be hot if she didn't have a kid, And then like all that baggage. But any woman's like, oh, look at
Babe,
him. He's a
I'm just
single
gonna tell you one
dad."
thing. So here's the amount of production that takes for me to go to Whole Foods. It amounts to zero. Like I go in raggedy shorts and raggedy t-shirt and whatever sneakers I find. And sometimes they're not matching.
And if you didn't have the child with you, people would think all the white splooges were cum, not milk.
Oh yeah, no.
Because he's
No,
covered. His shorts are like covered in like dried
other
white
day,
dried white matter.
Like the other day, I was like with these green shorts that I'm pretty sure I've been wearing for 2 days.
Yeah.
And this is how much I care about my personal appearance when I take him. So there's no woman getting any close. But anyhow, we went to Whole Foods and we went to another store, and I looked down, and it literally
It's
looked
right in that spot.
that I jizzed all over myself. And I was like, well, this is embarrassing, but I had a baby, so
That's what I mean. You got to have the
Yeah,
baby
yeah,
if you
yeah.
have the jizz shorts on.
yeah. If I would have taken the jeans shorts, I'm pretty sure I would be like a sex offender by now. Like I'll be in that list. I could not be finding a house like 30 feet around the school.
Oh my gosh. So Jasmine, how as new parents do you keep the flame going? Clearly, we're doing a great job at it. So I think that answers chores. No. We're still navigating that one, so we can address that question later. Yeah, because we're not doing a great job. Shelby wants to know about Candy's dating, not happening. Candy
No. Here.
What?
And I'm gonna vent, and I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Well, she definitely listens. What are you gonna vent about?
That she sent you a message that she wasn't trying to send to you. I'm 100% certain that she didn't want to send you that message. She was trying to send it to someone else. Read the message.
No one is gonna agree with you.
Please DM me if you agree with me. Don't DM me if you don't. I don't care if you don't.
Okay, my mom wrote me on Saturday. And
random message, random out of the blue.
She went to the mall. She was with me. It's not random out of the blue. I was just with her, and she went to the mall to get her hair cut.
Whatever.
After she watched Remy while I had the event. No, I have to set the context. Okay, she wrote, "This is unfair that I shared this with you, and now you're using it against her."
It traumatized me. So
that's why I shared it with you, because it traumatized me. Candy Mama. It is dangerously hot outside. My bra and panties were wet, and I was indoors in the air conditioner. Hair is cute, cooling off with Hefe.
Do you really think that was for her? Do you really think that wasn't for Mr. Jerome?
Why do you call him Mr. Jerome? She doesn't have a man. That's amazing, but she doesn't have a man, Shelby.
I am sorry, Candy. I love you. You know I love you.
I don't like that word panties. I don't know why my mom's telling me that her panties were also wet. Like, why was she saying
he likes that word. He gets off on that word.
Stop it. Okay, we're going to end the show today. What are you currently watching on Netflix or Hulu? This day was a very exciting day for me. And I'm talking about last Friday because Peaky Blinders finally came back. Fran and I have already crushed it. And we really enjoyed it. And I can't say enough good things about that show. I love every element of it. I love the music. It's definitely more of like a dude show probably. So it's probably not for everyone, you know. But I really love Peaky Blinders. Yeah. And then come to find out after it was over and we had that whole like on the last episode, which is like a feature length, by the way, episode. Fran and I look at each other because we know like what's next. Like when we can actually get through a show like this and it was only 6 episodes, like what are we going to watch now? And then Ozark Part 2 of the last season's out, which people love Ozark. I think it's fine. I'm not obsessed with Ozark. I think it's good enough to watch.
After Peaky Blinders, nothing compares. Like after Peaky Blinders, you need another Game of Thrones.
I can't even believe you'd put Peaky Blinders and Game of Thrones in the same category.
In the first couple of seasons and the last couple of seasons, not the very final season.
From start to finish, Peaky Blinders is amazing. Like that's just a very well done show. I mean, from dialogue to cinematography to the music to the acting. I mean, to sit there and what's better than me getting to watch Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy in scenes together? I mean, those are just 2 of my favorites.
And that big-eyed woman, what's her name? The Chase Master.
The chess master? Yeah, the actress. Yeah. Well, I forget her name right now. Anna Taylor-Joy. Queen's Gambit. That's how Fran and I communicate. The chess master, the Queen's Gambit. Yeah, she's pretty unlikable. But and all the other actors as well. Yeah, we absolutely love that show. Yeah. So if you've already watched that, then I don't know. Do we have anything else to recommend? I've actually watched a few things behind Fran's back I can share with you. I watched Under the Banner of Heaven, which is on Hulu with Andrew Garfield. I only watched it because you didn't seem to express any interest when we watched the trailer, and I had read part of the Jon Krakauer book that's based on that. Jon Krakauer wrote Into Thin Air, but he writes documentary style books about real events that happen, and which obviously I guess that is the same thing. But he wrote a book called Under the Banner of Heaven, which was about this very violent murder within the Mormon church in Utah many years ago. True story. And this was the show version of it. I thought it was awesome. So I really actually liked that show very much. It was really good.
I might need to watch it.
Liked it.
Yes, I might need to watch it. Next
I
time
tried
you
to
fly.
watch The Shining Girls, which was an Elizabeth Moss, who is the Handmaid's Tale. She produced and stars in a show called The Shining Girls, kind of this murder. It's when things start getting into like jumping through time, like a time warp. It starts losing me, you know, and that was the whole reason I never joined the Game of Thrones bandwagon in the beginning, because like when one of those first scenes I see like dragons, I was like, nah. And it wasn't until I got together with Fran and he really sold me on Game of Thrones. So that was the pandemic. I hadn't watched any Game of Thrones because I'm like, I can't do Dungeons and Dragons, y'all. Like, I can't get down with the sci-fi. I don't like space. And he was like, no, like the dragons are just a small part of it. Like, there's real stuff going on. And he sold me on it. And I did quite enjoy it.
It was really great.
Yeah.
If you want something easy and funny, working moms.
We love
easy
working
and
moms.
funny.
If you are a parent or going to become a parent, that show is absolutely hilarious. And this group of moms, it's very, you know, authentic and feels very real with, you know, comedic spin, but it feels really real about being parents. And we really, really like that show. That's a great rec. Yeah. Yeah. That was a great rec too. I like that one.
Yeah.
Did we already finish it? Yeah. Okay. So now it's on y'all. What should we watch?
I have heard that I've only watched season 1, but I don't think you liked it, of Stranger Things, and the new I forgot the new Star Wars thingy that is not the Mandalorian, Obi-Wan. I hear that Obi-Wan is mind blowing, so I might watch Obi-Wan without you.
That's fine. Go ahead. Don't mind. No FOMO here. Well, good. We need your recommendations. Let us know each week. As always, we take your questions on social media or info@fitish.com. Thanks for all the great feedback you've been giving us about the show in general. And please come join me up here at the Fitish office, actually, on Saturday, June 25th. We're having a really cool pop-up with some free massages and cryofacials and product sales and free gifts. And there's going to be 2 workout classes you can book. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I would love to meet some of y'all if you're in the area or available to come. And that's on Saturday, the 25th. And you can just kind of follow along my social media, and I'll fill you in more on that. But we're looking forward to it. So we'll see you next week.
See you next week.